Hey guys, and welcome to yet another overview video. It is part 4 of the Octave collection. The set is now finally complete. As I said, part 4, that means it's been 4 months. This is the longest time I've ever worked on like one single set, so 4 months. Without further ado, we are in game. This is the setup I did for the promo material, so I thought, we'd start on that. So yeah, sneak peek if you can't stay around. This is the general vibe that we're giving. So this set concentrated on finishing off a few pieces that were required for the living, well, just general living, the bedroom, and then also like home office / library. So we'll start off with the bedroom content. I did 2 different bed frames this month. The original idea was this 4-poster bed frame, and then at the very last minute, the last item I did, I was like, I had this mesh edit of this in my head, and I was like, let me see if I can make it work. So I managed to do it, and basically this bed is created from the mesh pieces of this bed. So luckily, I know it's a very quick thing for me to do, but you guys get like more versatility, and I know like you can't use a 4-poster bed in every situation, can you? But you should be able to use this bed in most situations. It's a lot simpler and more versatile. So I'm going to move the mattress off here just to go through some of the swatches. So there's at least one option for each of my standard wood tones to go through. I've also added in oak as a wood tone on this furniture. I don't know, for some of the other parts of the Octave I don't have oak, but this one I kind of like the way it looks, so we added in oak. Go through the midwood, your brown, warm brown, dark brown, mud, and then black. So I think my favorite would be this one, probably because it's closest to the inspiration image I had. So I really like that one. And then of course all the same swatches in this shorter bed frame version. And then I also created bedding this month. Now this is the first time ever, but all of these folds that you see on here, I sculpted them in 3D. So I made a version. This bedding is actually seasons. I'm gonna tell you what I did. I decided to go easy on myself and redo like a high poly mesh, but still use an in-game animated bed so that I didn't have to do all the weight paints. So yeah, this bed started off as this seasons one. Isn't it delicious? Delicious. So I took EA's low poly mesh and made another high poly mesh to bake all the textures on. So yeah, basically we started, and I went for the first time and used ZBrush. ZBrush is like the industry standard of if you want to sculpt an item in 3D, use ZBrush. So I got myself a little free trial of that, started painting away, thought I was God's gift to sculpting, and then baked it, and it looked like an old wrinkled man's face on the duvet. So instead I went and I started sculpting in Blender. So you can see here, this is my favorite part, is this like saggy baggy bit. I loved sculpting that bit. So we've done like some folds, and it's really cool. Like I'm using a graphics tablet and like basically just drawing on extra geometry, and then you bake it and it goes onto your regular low poly mesh, and it looks like a lot more detailed than it is. Like we have this little pinch here, and these folds. So yeah, I'm really happy with the way it's turned out, and I think it looks more luxurious than EA's bedding, even though it's exactly the same shape, because I made a new high poly mesh for all of the details. It looks so much better, so I'm happy with that. Next time, maybe when it's a different shape that's completely different from an EA bed, then I'll have to do the weight paints, but until then I'm gonna cheat and use this one. So we have a whole load of swatches. I made sure we got lots of like whites and creams to start off with, because I know lots of people kind of don't veer away from those ones, but then we go through and we have lots of different colors, the usual suspects of colors that you'll come to see in this set. So we go through all of these, and lately we've been doing a lot of lilacs. We've got lilac with like a grey throw, and of course pink. I love to add in a pink swatch when I can. So yeah, that's super versatile. Let's put this back on this bed. So that's the two beds, the bedding. And then we also have this side table. Super simple, but I really like the fact that this wood piece comes through the glass. So there is a slot on top, so we'll slot there, and then we've got a few slots I think around there. It comes in wood tones, but also I thought it would look cool in the patinated metals, so you have those as well in this one, and then the usual wood tones including oak for this one. So yeah, you can have it. I really like this, or a lamp on top of this. I just love this little raised bit. So by the way, this is from the living room. If you're wondering where this plant is from, it's not from this set, it's the living room. And then we have these end of bed benches. So there's this one. This is the original one that I plan to go at the end of the bed, but also it looks cool to have these stools at the end of the bed too. They come in all the same swatches, but you have the usual, all of the same wood tones, and then I've tried out different leather colors, so looks like this. And then there are also slots on top of this, because you know we love a good slot in places that EA don't put them. So I've put on these slots here, so you can just clutter it up without having to use the 9 key. Same again with all this stuff. So there's one on there as well, and yeah, this one of course all the same colors. I'm a fan of this folded stool look, and I was happy that I managed to fit it in. It was like the last new mesh that I made, and I was like, I have to fit this in, I have to make sure this makes the set. So really happy I managed to fit it in. And then we have, of course, if we do bedroom, we have to do a wardrobe. So I've done this like freestanding one. You can of course alt them into place if you want them to join, but they are meant to be like a freestanding kind of thing. So we have the closed one, and then we have an open version, because I feel like I just like to add these options in so it looks a bit more lived in. I've put the clothes in there from Dream Home Decorator, so yeah, it has the slot in there, don't worry. So if you don't have Dream Home Decorator, then of course you're not gonna have the clothes to slot onto there, but of course you can fake it if you have some other CC of clothes. And then there are slots down here as well, so you can put in all your different clutter items. I just put in some folded clothes in there to make it look cool. And then these come in all the same colors of course, but all of the wood tones that are in the other bedroom pieces of furniture. So I think that is the bedroom focus bit. Then we had a few leftovers from last month, which would have been these acoustic panels. So the hi-fi that came with the set, let me search for it. Of course, as always, if you search Octave, you can find everything. This is everything that is in the set. We've got quite a bit. This is all 4 months worth of content. Where is, am I blind? No, totally not. With the stereo that came with last month, it needed some acoustic panels, which I didn't manage to fit in, so we added them into this month. This is I think a sound diffuser, so the sound goes in and it bounces out, but also they just look like cool wall art instead of them actually being acoustic panels. So I did this in all the different wood tones. It makes cool just modern artwork. And then this one is a sound absorber, I think. Yeah, that's a diffuser and that's an absorber. So I did it in all the colors of the rainbow that you could possibly need. And yeah, as I said, they just look like cool modern art rather than acoustic panels if you want to put them like that. And then we also have these two radiators. These radiators again, so these acoustic panels were inspired by my dad's hi-fi room, as was the stereo system, sorry, 2-channel listening system, as Knight calls it. So this all came from the same room, as did this radiator. This is the radiator that's also in the room. And I really wanted to do one of these tall radiators. It is super old. I feel like my parents were on the cutting edge of getting these interior design pieces, and it's like 22 years old, the radiator. It's still in the original paint, and they got it in teal. I feel like back then, this is when I was like 14, teal was like the it colour, so it's in teal. That's why I've added this special colour in, so it's the same as real life. But again, it comes on lots of different colours, so you can have like a pop of colour if you wanted from your radiators, or you can like just have the traditional white and have it kind of sink into the background. But yeah, that's everything. If you want a pink radiator, you can have a pink radiator. So I've made these with a base game item. So if you do just have base game, you should be able to place these in game. But you to have the full functionality, you're going to need to have seasons, because they are in fact a thermostat. So you can use these to make the room go hotter or colder. So yeah, that's what you'll need for the full functionality of that. And then next we have these little tiny light switches. I like these, are like cool to add details in a room. They look, I'm trying to now add things that make everything a little bit more lived in, a bit more true to life. So we have this light switch, and this was a light switch that was being recommended to me on Pinterest. And it was like a super bright light switch, and I just thought that looks so cool. Then I clicked on it and I realized it like came in these Courvoisier like custom colors and stuff, so it was French. And I was like, of course I got attracted to this colorful light switch when I was doing a French designer inspired set. So we've got all of these colors, and then I've also done a series of a few metals as well. So if you want a gold light switch, you can have gold light switch. Yeah, so all of those colors, and I think I got good feedback on the red one as well, so you can have a bright red light switch. These ones, if you click on them, they will change the lights, so you can turn off and on the room lights from the light switches. Back into here. Then we have some more artwork. So we had like the acoustic panels of kind of artwork. This time we also have proper artwork, so the same frame for the wall as there is like the leaning version. You can see that from the side. This will go like up and down all around. You can place it wherever you want. Would look great on top of like a fireplace as well. Always do love a good leaning artwork on top of a fireplace. I just boom, there you go, just pull it there. I was gonna say ta-da, and I'm like, it's a little bit too high. There you go. So you can have the leaning or the wall mounted, just for those of you that don't love to change stuff up with tool. You have both options. And then I've gone through and done a few different artwork pieces in a few different color swatches. So I think there's 4 different artwork pieces, and then I think each one has like 4 or 5 different colors. So go through all of those. And I know we can never get enough artwork in the game. It's just, there can never be enough. So I always like to add in some whenever I can. So that's that artwork. And then we have the series of items that contribute towards the home office feel. I really wanted to make sure that I put in a bookshelf that was full height and modular. So the bookshelf comes with a middle piece, it comes with end pieces, and it comes with inner corner and also outer corner. So you can make this go all around the room. You can put it up against the wall like I have these ones, or you can put it in the middle of the room. It look really cool as a room divider. So yeah, that's this one. It comes in a whole load of wood tones, the usual suspects, and then also some painted versions as well, which I think would look cool as like just a pop of color. I think my favorite would be the bright blue. I do love a good bright blue, but also the charcoal. So with this one, this fits perfectly under a 3 meter. This is for the short wall, so it fits perfectly under that. Just in case you're wondering, the height to the underside of a short wall height is 2.85. So it may be 3 meters tall, but there's a little bit lower for the floor thickness. So yeah, that's how tall it is to fit right underneath. So if you see that it doesn't go all the way to the top, that's because when you have let's do it like this. Ooh, fabulous. I'm going to go down like this. You'll see it comes right underneath the ceiling height, so that it doesn't clip through and you don't get any weird bits showing through into the other floors and things like that. But yeah, there's a short one, and then we have these extension pieces that can snap onto it. So there's a single one, and then there's a double story one for doing your 5 meters. Now there is, listen closely, there is a slight drawback to having these extension pieces. I really wanted to make this super sleek modular bookshelf where you just make it whatever height you want, but The Sims does not like having multiple slots. They don't do it themselves, so I presume then they didn't build in the compatibility for it. But for example, let me get a book from the living room. So we have this fabulous book here. It has slots on top of this. This has like an invisible slot, so you can stack them as high as you like. Now sometimes if you did this, because this is a desk that has a slot on it, and then there's a book slotted, and then another book and another book and another book, there's multiple slots on top of each other. If you went out of the lot and back in, you might come back and find that all of the books, all of these top 3 books had disappeared and gone into your Sims inventory. So that's like anything above the first original slot, it just gets rid of it and chucks it into your inventory, even though it was there before, sitting there nicely. It just doesn't like it. Now, it does it sometimes. Sometimes it won't. Like I had a full wall set up of these shelves when I was doing my testing, and it got rid of half of the shelves that were stacked and then left the other half. So there's no rhyme or reason to when it decides to delete stuff and when it decides to leave it. So I've made these extension pieces, and I tried to do it so this would limit the amount of content that would disappear. But I highly recommend not actually using the slots that I've put on here. If you want your clutter, if you want it to be a 0% chance of your clutter disappearing, I would suggest moving these extension pieces up in the air using the tool mod, put them in place, and then move the lower one into place. So I can show you actually. Let me take one of these. I would suggest doing Shift T, Twistamex's tool mod. You just toggle it, you elevate it to 2.85. Okay, deactivate this, Shift T to close this. And then I would suggest putting this into place. Put all your higher ones that you want into place, and then get the lower one and put it underneath. Oh, we didn't put it far enough. There we go. I don't want it to snap. Oh, I know I did. I'm such an idiot. I did an end piece. I didn't do a middle piece. There we go. So yeah, you can do it like that, and then when you clutter this up, none of your clutter will disappear because this is not slotted to this. If you snap it and slot it, you can see the thing blinking to show you that it's connected. Then your clutter up here is probably going to disappear. I don't know how else to solve it, but unfortunately that's just a kind of drawback from having this system. But fingers crossed, you should be okay if you use tool mod to move it up. You'll be fine, it won't disappear. Now to go with these ladders, to go with these bookshelves, I also did a rail system and ladders. So we have a middle rail, we have a left and a right. This also works if you just put it onto a wall like this. So that's the middle piece, and you can also like snap a ladder to it. Let's put the ladder in place. I've made before originally the what's it called, the ladders would snap to the rail, but then that whole double slot problem happened. So now there's actually slots in place on the bookshelf that the rail will slot to, and also that the ladder will slot to. So now when you go in, your ladders won't disappear. They did before, but if you have your ladder and your rail on, they won't disappear, so they'll be there. And I was like, oh, thank God I managed to work around that one. These come in, so you can just have it on the wall as like decoration, or have it next to a bookshelf instead if you just wanted it to go up. They come in this short size, and also then this tall height, and a whole load of colors, all the same metal tones actually that you'll find in the lighting that I've done in previous months. So that's that, and then the same in the rails as well. There you go. And yeah, so you can, I kind of like to do this whole mix and match thing of having the lower part wood and then maybe like this top part to be another color. You can do whatever color you like. You can have it all the colors of the rainbow, whatever you desire. You can mix and match them and put them together. And then also have, I do like a good pop of color in the ladder, and a maybe more plain bookshelf. And of course there's lots of slots in this so that you can put stuff everywhere. I showed on my Insta stories that I literally maxed out the amount of slots on this middle piece. I maxed it out. I can't fit any more slots on there, so don't ask, because I can't fit them. It's totally maxed out. So you can have lots of fun cluttering this. It does take a good sweet time. I decided not to add clutter already in this because this is quite a large piece already. It takes up quite a big texture, and I didn't want to have to go any larger to have the clutter. So I thought, let's keep the clutter separate, and then you can make it and customize it however you want. Then we have, of course, no home office / library is complete without a desk and the desk chair. So I've made these two desks. I've called them desks, but they're actually dining tables. As I've said quite a few times, I don't really get the point of a desk in the game. Apart from limiting the placement of a chair, they're kind of pointless. So you'll find these in the dining table section, and also I'm pretty sure I put them in the desk section as well. Did I? Yes, there you go. So yeah, if you want to use this as the dining table, you can. Your Sims will clip a little bit when it comes to that part, but I thought I'd give you the versatility of being able to choose whether or not you wanted to use it as a dining table or as a desk. In game, I always use the dining tables as a nice desk anyway. I don't think the desks are very cute that came with the game. So yeah, this one, and I wanted to have a glass table. Now, I don't know about you, but I have a slight obsession with this table that comes with the fitness pack. I think this is about the only item of the fitness pack that I still use, and I just love this whole bottom part with the glass top. So that's what inspired this. I just really love this table. Every so often I use it in a build and like combine it with some CC chairs, but I think they did the concept was really good. The execution maybe not so much my favorite, but I see past it and I use it quite a bit if I was doing a build in a modern build. So I decided to do these ones that I didn't have to look past the design faults. So yeah, wooden base, and then like these metal beams to hold everything up. So that comes with the wooden down the bottom, and the glass color does change as well some of the times, and also the metal changes. And then we also have some plaster versions as well, because we've been using a lot of plaster and wood in the set. So there you go. I'm loving this one. So it comes in the 2 and 3 tile version, all the same colors in both of them. And then also we have this desk chair. This is my IRL desk chair. It's called the Supporto chair, and mine looks very not like this. It looks very haggard, and I need to buy a new one. But yeah, it's a bit of a design classic. I feel like it's a British design classic, but it's been overshadowed by all of the Eames office chairs that just kind of blasted it. But yeah, this is the chair that I have, and I have it, I think it looks like that. It has kind of painted plus polished metal, but in the Sims it just looked kind of freaky. So I stuck with just having one metal color for everything. And you've got all the different, I've gone very office like, so we haven't got all the colors of the rainbow, but we, you know, very office. We've got a leather one. The chair does also come in leather and fabric. And then I feel like this is very office, you know. I've seen this blue very much in a lot of offices. So yeah, that's all of the variety in that one. So you can have your little home office setup. I wish I had a desk like this. I have an IKEA kitchen top on the traditional classic Alex drawers. I think every single YouTuber started off with that like setup. But yeah, that is everything that is in part 4. It is now available on Patreon Early Access. It will be for free on public download on the 2nd of July. That's exactly 1 month from the Patreon release. And also coming up tomorrow, I have a very, very special build with all of these Octave items. I have done a speed build. It will be up tomorrow at the usual I'm going to say usual time. I'm not here usually, but the usual upload time on Sunday tomorrow. And hopefully you know, we have a little catch up tomorrow. I've already done the voiceover, so I'm gassing a lot. So I hope to see you guys very, very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye guys.